that bit of white paper, and I'm going to probably keep that little sort of fractal pattern. I don't know what quite the right word is of the wet paint there. Other things with the tail, I want to keep the looseness of the tail, but I just added a few little marks to accentuate things. Coming down to the legs, I just added a little more refinement and structure to the toes, and on the whole that's more or less it in terms of the major bits of line work. Everything else is just kind of well, just general textural marks really. So let's add some more paint and really bring this thing to conclusion. So I'm going to start again by getting the paper very wet, and then using my little flat frayed brush, kind of grab some burnt umber, touch of ultramarine blue, perhaps a little bit more, and I want to put a glazing layer on to create some very dark shadows. So I've just added even more water to that paint that you just saw me mix up. And going back to looking at the big shapes on the animal here, just going to darken the big areas of shadow. My hope is that by putting on this thin layer, not only will I be putting down some new textures within the brush marks themselves, but I'm hoping that the work I've done already won't be completely hidden either. Now I quite like the way the two back feet more or less disappear into shadow, so I'm deliberately going to leave that area rather unresolved. So far fairly content with what I've got down at the moment. So coming in now with my round brush, I'm just going to darken inside the tip of that ear and make things a little darker on top of the nose. Perhaps a little bit on the head. Now, up until now, I've been using tinting whites. I've switched to titanium white, which is the more opaque of the two. And I'm going back in with my little flat brush, grabbing a touch of the cad yellow and a touch of the orange, and little spritz of water just so that it's not completely straight out of the tube. I think in terms of the body, I'm pretty close to being finished there. So let's look at the head a bit more closely. So I've switched back to my round brush, and I'm just adding a touch more yellow to that colour that I just used. And we'll use that just along the tip of that ear. And I don't mind if some of these drawing lines are showing through. It's very much a three-layered approach I've taken here, where I've got the drawing, the loose and lively wet in wet painting, and then just a little bit more of a controlled approach for the finishing touches. So now I'm grabbing some titanium white and just putting the mildest touch of the ultramarine blue in there. And I'm going to use that to kind of subdue a lot of the pure white that is currently showing through from the unpainted paper. On the head of the animal.